That's right, baby. We're back. Back on a Saturday Day Live, ready to go. Saturday, October 19th, 2024 is when we're live. Thank you to everyone who joins us tonight on an evening edition of Saturday Day Live. Thank you to everybody who hops in on the replay later on. Ryan Gonzalez, Eric LeBron, my two good buddies here, joining on another Saturday Day Live. I will say, guys, last week we went earlier again at what used to be a fairly regular time for us, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. I really enjoyed it. I would like to do that again when schedules allow.
For sure.
But right before we went on, we had just started talking about one of my favorite topics, scary movies, because it is the Halloween season. One of my favorite times of the year. Here in New Jersey, we had some very nice fall weather a few days ago. Now it's summer again, unfortunately. It's summer again. It's going to cruise into the high 70s over the next few days. So great. All I want to do is wear hoodies. But at least inside the house, it can be whatever we want it to be. And LeBron, you were telling us about something cool that you were doing over on your side of the country. Can you let everybody in on it?
Yeah. During this whole month of October, my mom asked me if I'd like to watch some scary movies with her, and I said, "Are you kidding me? Of course I would." So we've been jonesing and geeking out together on some scary movies. So we're just going through the full catalog. We've already gone through Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Terrifier, Saw, 28 Days Later, Bram Stoker's Dracula, The Shining, Halloween, The Fly, all kinds of movies. Just anything in the horror genre. We're just going through the whole library, everything that we could get our hands on. We're just watching it together. So just geeking on some cool horror stuff, man.
That's a huge mix there too. You've got some like newer, like modern classics, like Saw. I think is a modern classic.
Yeah,
and some older ones, dude. Were you referring to the Jeff Goldblum, The Fly?
Yeah, the Jeff Goldblum Fly.
Dude,
I actually have the original one too. Yeah, that's a freaky movie, man.
That shit messed me up as a kid.
Yeah,
that's a Cronenberg movie, right?
I believe so. Yeah. I think so.
Never seen it.
You never seen the? Oh wow, that's a good one, dude. You got to check it out. It's really good.
Oh,
yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it's good. It's very well done. It'll mess you up.
For a little while. It's pretty freaky, dude. It's pretty freaky. It's cool too. The disc that I bought it a long time ago. The disc that it's on is a 2-feature. It's got the Jeff Goldblum and it's got the original one.
That's cool.
The black and white one, which is really cool to watch too. You know, just for nostalgic reasons. Just old.
What's your preferred method of movie watching? So, are you streaming these guys? Do you have these? So that one you have on some kind of disc. It sounds like, right?
Right. I mean, I have a huge DVD and Blu-ray library. I mean, I probably have over probably 500 or 600 films. I'm a huge movie geek, so I love watching movies. But I mean, now of course with streaming, if there's something that I don't have, which is very rare, I mean, of course I'll try to find it on streaming with all the streaming apps that I have available. If there's something like The Terrifier I didn't have on disc, so I found that on one of the streaming channels or whatever and watched it there. So yeah, if it's available on stream, I'll watch it on stream, but mostly I'll have everything on disc. So that's how I watch it.
Yeah, so when you mentioned The Terrifier before, you know, that's obviously the one with the crazy clown with the small hat on his head.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. Ryan, you said you never saw it either, right?
No, because I was going to ask, is that like a horror comedy? Because I've seen clips where he's like creepy and then he's like all of a sudden smiling.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's like slasher horror. Yeah, it's full blown like slasher horror. Nice. Yeah, but it's like I said, it's all part of the horror genre. You know, it's just, and it's funny because like some of these films, you look like my mom was like a lot of the films we watched already. My mom's like, well, that wasn't scary. I'm like, yeah, but you gotta realize it's kind of funny. Like the horror genre, especially like the 80s horror genre, like a lot of it really wasn't scary. A lot of it's like really like kooky and like You're just like, what the hell? But what kind of spawned from that was in the horror genre, just like back in the day when, in the early days of black and white films, when like the Universal monsters were introduced to the world. I mean, now the iconic figures of that day and age were like the Mummy, Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Those are like iconic horror film screen, characters. For us in our generation, it's Michael Myers, Freddy, Jason, Sam from Trick or Treat, stuff like that. I mean, that's what our like nostalgic, iconic horror, characters are. And it just became like a cult following to all those characters. Doesn't mean that the films were like the greatest films in the world, because they obviously aren't. A lot of them are dog shit, for lack of a better word. But I mean, it's just like I said, it's just the horror genre, and it's just nostalgic to anybody who loves horror stuff. Which, I mean, as a kid, from grade school, I was totally geeked out on horror films. I loved watching everything horror, genre inspired. So
I would say I do have a favorite, I guess, horror genre movie. And it's Halloween, because Halloween is one of my favorite movies of all time, period, end, stop, the whole thing. Like, I just adore that movie. I love, the way they sort of did the killer in that movie, which was, I don't know if it had been done a lot before, at least in that time frame, where you have the killer. They weren't jump scares, really. It was just all of a sudden he would show up like in the background, and the viewer can see it. The character who's about to be killed can't see it.
Yeah,
and, he slowly comes after them. Of course, the theme song, completely iconic.
Oh yeah,
the fact that John Carpenter wrote it himself is incredible. Jamie Lee Curtis is awesome in it. I love the vibe of the whole movie from beginning to end. Like, you can really feel like the 70s fall, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
And even some of the behind the scenes stuff. Like, I didn't know until I was an adult. So the movie Halloween is filmed in Los Angeles, right? California. So like, there are a couple of parts in the movie which until I knew this, I wouldn't have known to look for it. There's certain parts of the movie where you can pause it and you can see like palm trees way in the back. And all the fall leaves that are like blowing around in the street, those were all planted by the production. So like, every time they would do a take, they would spread, blow the leaves around everywhere. And then when they would cut, they had people that would run out, gather up all the leaves and put them into bags so they could do it again for the next take.
Yeah, that's funny.
That stuff to me is like really cool.
That's funny.
Nice.
Yeah, just like you with the how you're saying Halloween, the original Halloween is like your go-to like type, or as far as if you want to like narrow it down, not to a certain genre, but a type of like scary movie. Mine is definitely it's always been like the space horror films, and my two favorite of all time is The Thing and the first Alien movie. I mean, it's like those two movies. It's just like I don't know, when you're dealing with something that you don't necessarily know what it is, kind of thing. It's like you don't know how to fight it, you don't know how to deal with it, or it's like one of those situations where you're completely out of your league. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. The Thing is obviously like the craziest film out of all of those. It's just wild what those guys go through in that film, and like what they're dealing with that monster. It's crazy.
And it's funny because Alien 2 is probably the one that I've seen more than Alien.
A lot of people. Yeah.
And it's a very different movie, right? Like the first one is a little bit more like just personal, and like it's like a dark, almost like noir film.
Yeah.
Whereas Alien 2 is a little bit more of big budget action.
Yeah,
thing.
Definitely. Yeah.
It's still really good though, I think. I really do.
Oh, absolutely. It was probably one of the best sequel films to any first great film like that ever made. It's just the way that they did it. It was just beautiful.
And the fact that they could like capture that Geiger aesthetic for like the aliens and the ship and everything, and do like a completely different film but like still make it really good. It's like I think it's you don't see that as much today, right?
No, not at all. Another good film like that, where it's like I said, in kind of like the alien space genre horror type films. If you guys have never seen it, it's a really great film. Life with
I don't think I have.
I want to say Jared Leto. No, not Jared Leto. Who was the kid from? Shit, now I can't remember. The
Gyllenhaal?
kid from yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal's in it.
Okay.
That's him. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, Life. If you guys have never seen that film, definitely take a look at that film. That film's crazy.
Sometimes we do that stuff, man.
It's the FBL equivalent when yeah, because listen, it's the thumbnails take on a Halloween vibe. Like I adore this whole season so much. Like we love decorating the house and doing the whole costume thing, all that stuff. So I'm into like we watch all the Halloween specials. Ooh, that's another good one too, but I'll get to that in a second. Ryan, what's your deal with scary movies? Do you have a favorite one?
So I'm gonna go with this one right here, Event Horizon. It's got that sci-fi.
Yep.
Lawrence Fishburne. When I was a kid, it fucked me up. Just basically demons in space because they're punching a hole into a different fucking dimension.
That's with the guy who played the guy from Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah.
I have that film. I just couldn't remember. I can't remember his name.
It's funny when you mentioned like space horror. The first thing that popped in my head was Event Horizon. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, that's a classic, dude. That's a classic.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what else I love? Like I watch these movies every year. I love like the anthologies. So I love like Creepshow 1, like where they have a bunch of different stories. Creepshow 1, Creepshow 2 is the movie that I had on playing down here in the basement when I was like just doing some work cleaning up earlier tonight. But there's a bunch of other really good ones. Cat's Eye is a really great one. If you've never seen it, check it out. Cat's Eye.
Some of the cool Stephen King ones, yeah.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, Cat's Eye, Stephen King. And the other one I really like, Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, is really good. So,
hell yeah.
Man, I gotta watch more scary movies. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Oh, they're fun, and I think the anthologies are movies that are easy for someone who've never seen them to kind of get into, because they're short little stories. So one movie will be like 3 or 4 different stories, in Creepshow 1, Creepshow 2, Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, Cat's Eye. Those are probably my 4 favorites. They all have like really cool, like fun little stories, like. And they're scary, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, Nate saying Exorcist scared the crowd. Dude, The Exorcist, the original Exorcist, I mean, that's literally probably one of the scariest films ever made.
Dude, and to me, the scariest part is when they're doing like listen, I guess spoiler alert for a movie that came out 50 years ago. But when they're doing the exorcism, right? And like everything's going haywire and like crazy shit is happening and being said, and the lights are flashing and all this, and there's that one quick shot of like where the light comes on, and there's like the demon or whatever just standing there, and then it's gone. Like it's so quick, but like what you see is so elaborate that it's like, what the fuck? Like it's bad.
Yeah, it's insane, man. It's insane.
Yeah, Evil Dead is not one that I've really like gotten into and checked out, but it I know it's iconic, and people love it. So I would like to check it out, because it also seems like the kind of thing that has like some kind of like wink, wink, nod, nod humor that kind of goes into it.
Yeah.
Just from seeing Bruce Campbell and,
Yeah. It was funny when I first saw the original Evil Dead, I was literally like I must have been like, because my mom used to take me to the video store, and she used to like rent like VHS tapes for me. I mean, way back then. But and she used to let me go in the horror section and pick whatever I wanted to, rent. So I used to pick all this crazy shit. And I remember the first time I ever saw Evil Dead, I was like a little kid, and yeah, it scared the living crap out of me because I didn't understand it. I was like, what's going on here? This is madness. But if you watch it now, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's like, it's almost like slapstick horror, you know what I mean? Especially with Bruce Campbell and stuff. So it's like a whole different film now to me than it was then. When I saw it the first time, I was like, oh my God, like what is going on here? Yeah, the Evil Dead's a great
I gotta
one.
check it out, man. I gotta check it out.
Yeah, it's a good one, man. There's, like I said, man, there's so many.
It's funny because like the whole 80s genre, 80s horror movie is kind of like its own thing. Like there's some like little offshoots, like Halloween like sort of predates the 80s horror thing. Evil Dead is sort of its own thing. And then there's like a whole mess of movies from the 80s that have the same kind of like cheesy 80s formula.
Yeah.
But it's so like comforting to watch, like if you're used to it. And there's like a billion of them that just sort of like, and really they're all sort of based a little bit on the Friday the 13th model, not so much the first one, but like starting with like the second and third one and then going on from there.
Right. Yeah.
All those movies from the 80s like are sort of based on that.
And I mean, as cheesy as it is too, I still, I mean, I know if you look at it now, it's like, oh my God, that's so fake, or that's, it looks so ridiculous. But I mean, I give it up to the filmmakers back in the day when they were still using like practical effects and stuff. So
for sure.
Like, I just think it's funny, but it looks funny, but it just, you got to give it up to these guys who are trying to be as creative as possible and gory as possible. And, it's another great one back. And that, I mean, a lot of these, younger people won't remember or probably have never seen is like Phantasm. That was a fucking scary ass movie. I mean, that's one of those ones where I was like laying awake in bed at night, like freaking like thinking I was gonna die after I saw that film, because I was like, oh man, the tall man's coming for me. You know what I mean? It's like, it's freaking crazy.
like the 80s slasher flicks, they wouldn't like really keep you up. It's more the ones that had like some type of thing like mentally that would like mess you up,
Yeah, definitely.
You know what else we were watching earlier today, and I love it. I absolutely love it. But it's not like a horror. It's not a horror movie, right? But it sort of fits the conversation. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Yeah.
So as a young lad, in the late 80s, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark came out in 1989 when I was 12. So, and of course, Elvira was famous before that. So like as an 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old, let's just say I was a fan of Elvira. Elvira,
who wasn't?
My God, was like among like, there's like Kelly Bundy, Hillary Banks, Elvira, like right there. So Elvira, Mistress of the Dark was the Elvira movie. And so it was on, I put it on today and we were like watching it like upstairs, like while we were like doing stuff at the house and everything. There's some pretty nutty stuff in that movie. Like including there's one part where she like thinks she's using like a cookbook and it's really like a spell book. And she creates like this creature that pops out of a pot, fully practical effects. And it's like gnarly. It's like this nasty, gnarly, like lizardish crazy little monster that's like soaking like wet with all this disgusting stuff, like pretty crazy stuff. What's up, Santos?
I'm like I said, I'm a huge fan of practical effects, man, and the old way of like making cool scenes in films. Of course, like back to practical effects with like the animation effects and stuff that they did for a lot of the films like Clash of the Titans and stuff like that. Harryhausen, man, is just like, I mean, that stands the test of time. Some of the stuff that he did in so many different films that he worked on, it's like stuff like that. But
that stuff still looks cool.
Oh yeah, totally.
It still looks cool, like today, and that's why, like, what movie? And I think sort of what I'm alluding to a little bit is that, now that everything is so CGI reliant, like a lot of it just doesn't look as good. It just doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it has the same effect. Personally, that's just my take.
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. And one of the movies where I thought CGI was used the most effectively was one of the first ones where I thought it was used on a grand scale, and that was Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, with Jurassic Park, they used a combination of CGI and practical effects, like animatronics and stuff like that, to really like make it look good. And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Bill says he never saw the original Ring, but have seen the US version a ton of times. That is a really, really great movie. And that's like a movie that we've watched, like, sort of, like, when I say as a family, I don't mean my kids, but I mean like my wife and my sister-in-laws and stuff. The Ring, the US version, is scary. I actually have seen the Japanese version. It's a very, very scary, put it that way. The Ring is not rated R? I feel like it should be, though. That's terrifying.
I don't even remember. Yeah.
It's the one where there's like some like little like zombie like ghost girl or whatever. Samara.
The TV girl.
With the videotape, if you watch it, you're dead in 7 days.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And then the second one is less scary and more like a little bit of a fun romp. You know, the scariest part for The Ring 2 is probably like there's this part where they're driving and they get attacked by deer.
Yeah. The little kid has to stare down with the fucking one that rams the shit out of their car.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
So Schmerber says rewatching the old Salem's Lot film, pretty creepy still. I do want to check that out. Plus, there's a new Salem's Lot that's coming out. Like, I don't know if it's a series or a movie. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, it's a movie. I saw it. It's pretty good. It's a remake. It's a remake of the original. It's pretty good.
It's on Max, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Because I've seen it all over the place. I just haven't had a chance to watch it.
Yeah, Andy the Collector, the original Nosferatu, the 1922 Symphony of Horror. That's a freaking great film to watch.
One thing I used to love, so AMC, like the American Movie Classics, the channel, like I'm assuming they probably still do it, but like every year they would run like all like the really old like Universal Monster classics like in a row, like it's like a marathon. Like, and I remember like just having that on and like watching that with my mom, like as a really young kid, like Creature from the Black Lagoon, like Frankenstein, like all those.
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, man. Like I said, it's crazy to think that, well, you know, just like you know, any genre in the nerd culture, like, you know, Transformers, G.I. Joe, you know, Masters of the Universe, horror, man. I mean, there's a huge following of horror. I mean, everybody loves
it's a huge cross section, right?
Yeah, some type of horror, and it's just amazing, like how much cool, like innovative, like just out of the world, like, you know, ideas come out of just the horror genre. The characters, like I said, the practical effects, it's just amazing, man. It's amazing.
Yeah. Can you guys keep talking for a few minutes? I think we just had some food delivered. I want to make sure that it gets to where it needs
absolutely
to go.
Absolutely.
Thank you, fellas.
If anyone has, well, I don't know if I'm sure if they travel to other states or whatever, but here in California, we have an event every year here called Monster Palooza. And oh my God, if you're a horror fan in any way, shape, or form, it's like the mecca of freaking cool horror shit to go to see. It's amazing because on the show floor, aside from just your regular like booths where people are selling stuff, a lot of the booths that they have are people that do like special effects, like makeup and stuff like that, and they're doing like live not demos, but they're doing like live special effects on the showroom floor where they're like putting like prosthetics on people and doing full blown like makeup, and I mean full head to toe body, you know, like reimaginations of like, you know, horror like monsters or whatever. It's just insane, man. It's that's the one. Yeah, in Anaheim. Oh no. It was in Anaheim. It's the one that they had. The big one that I go to is in Pasadena. They at the Pasadena Convention Center. It's freaking amazing, man. That's such a great show. Probably one of the best cons that I've ever attended. And I think I've gone like 3 years so far. It's freaking so cool, man.
There's
Yeah.
there's a couple in Jersey, and I'm not sure the name of it, but I know Jamie and Paul Sutt just went not too long ago. I forget what it's called though. But I don't think they have like the special effects people on site like doing that. But then again, I've never gone, so I can't say.
Yeah, it's beyond this world, dude. The stuff that they have at this show, it's so cool. So cool. I've never seen anything like it.
There's one.
Nice.
J HorrorCon, Atlantic City.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything that, like I said, I don't know. I think the horror cons are way different than your regular cons, because like I said, I've never seen any other con that had something like that where you actually can see firsthand, like, special effects stuff, especially like makeup effects and stuff. And these people, I mean, there's tons of booths all over the place that are doing it. So you have cosplayers that are like running around, and they're not just in costumes, they're like in full blown, like, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like,
it's incredible.
It's so ridiculous. Like some of the stuff that they're walking around in, it's like either zombies or monsters or demons or whatever, but they're in full blown costumes. It's crazy, man. Yeah, it's so much fun. I love that kind of stuff.
Have you, talking about Nate's comment, have you watched any of the Mike Flanagan stuff on Netflix?
I have not.
Like The Haunting of Hill House, Bly Manor.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I did. I did.
And the Fall of the House of Usher. I think that's the right name.
Yeah, I know. I watched the one. It was like the haunting on something hill or something like that.
Yeah, The Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's real good stuff. Real good jump scares in that one.
Yeah. And then watching it back, like seeing all the hidden ghosts in like different scenes.
Yeah,
like it tripped me out when he was in the basement and the one chick was just there, and I was like, holy shit, are we not supposed to know that that's there?
Yeah. Yeah, good times, man. Real good times. Hey, Bill, just since we're here, when are we starting our next book layer? When are we supposed to be starting that? Because I was about to get started on it, I guess early, but didn't know when we were starting that book.
Are you doing that audio?
Yeah. A lot of, I mean, like I said, a lot of the books, I mean, obviously I've had them before. The newest one that we're going to do is The Crystal Shard. I've read that one before. I had a buddy of mine recommend that to me quite a few years ago, and he was like, hey man, I know you, because he was like, I know you're like into mythic legions and all this kind of stuff. He's like, if you ever want to read something really cool, he's like, read this book. And that totally, as soon as I read it, I was like totally geeked.
There you go.
Okay, starts this Wednesday. Awesome. So I'll get started on it then. But yeah, I've already read it, so I already know what it is and what it's all about. So it's I'm kind of ahead of the game.
Yeah. It'll be the first. Well, I'm going to do Audible. It'll be the first audiobook I've done, but
yeah,
first time because I was familiar with Crystal Shard, but I never got around to it.
Yeah, it's the whole. It's like, I mean, it's a great introduction to the Dritz character. So yeah, it's awesome, dude. It's freaking awesome. You're gonna love it. Yeah. And then once I got into that, then I started getting into the other books, and it's just like it's just a rabbit hole from there. Then it got me into like the Dragon's Lair books and stuff like that, or the all the D&D type-esque books and stuff like that. So I started reading a bunch of that stuff too. So good times. Yeah, I like audiobooks. I mean, for me, I understand a lot of people do them for like commutes and road trips. I do Audible now because, I mean, a lot of the time I'm at my desk painting, and it's like, if I sit with a book in my hands, I mean, my hands are not free, obviously. So
yeah.
And a lot of times I like to have my, I like to be painting and doing custom work or whatever, and that way I could just plug in my earphones and listen to a book while I'm working. But Yeah, now it's almost everything now. Everything that I want to read or listen to, I do Audible. Now I'm all geeked out on Audible this year.
Yeah, well, being in the truck all day, I got a lot of fucking downtime, so I'm thinking
Yeah,
about doing a
That's
lot.
that's
Yeah,
perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, I could totally see that. Yeah, if I was on the road or like I said, a long commute every day, I would totally be doing that. Shit, my commute to work's like 8 minutes, so I'm not in the car long enough to even tune the radio. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, you're not a nerd, dude. You love it. Why not?
Hell yeah, dude! It's good literature, man. It's great literature. I mean, it's awesome. They're totally cool books, man. There's so many good books. Yeah, Dragonlance. That's right, Dragonlance. I'm sorry, I said Dragon Lair. Had the video game on my mind. But yeah, man, freaking so much good stuff out there. I can't wait. Like I said, I'm so stoked how well this book layer like group is going and all the different comments and everybody's like kind of getting involved. I love it, man. It's so cool because there's so many cool things that we could get into, so many different genres, and we can get into horror, American classic, fantasy. It's great, man. I love the fact that it's kind of just an open
Yeah,
door to whatever we can read, and trying to kind of put the feelers out there to see what everybody's kind of into. And a lot of times it's something that maybe only a few people have read, and maybe it's something that everybody's read and just wants to read again. It's very, very cool, man. Such a great idea, man. So glad that, like I said, we constantly just keep progressing and doing kind of positive interaction things where we can like get together as a group and share something. You know what I mean? So
it's another
awesome.
thing that we can share besides Mythic Legions. Just
Yeah,
broaden
yeah,
your horizons.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, like I said, if you think kind of outside of like it just being about Mythic Legions, I mean, learning about photography. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not just about shooting action figures or Mythic Legions. Just learning about cameras, or photography in general. There's so much knowledge out there from so many of these guys. It's awesome. I mean, even if you just wanted to do studio photography or like product photography or, shoot wedding photos, I mean, you can actually learn from people in this group about it. You know what I mean? Because they are behind cameras all day and they could, teach you the basics and kind of get you rolling in that field or whatever hobby that you want to get into. Like I said, and there's no, no one's gatekeeping. You know what I mean?
Oh,
No
yeah.
one, no one gatekeeps or like, oh yeah, learn your own way or kind of hit the road, pound sand. Like nobody's like that. It's just, that's what I love about it. But this whole new book thing, man, it's so cool. Like I said, it's a whole nother step into like this a great direction of conversation and community and sharing and ideas and like I said, what more could you ask for, man? It's so awesome. Love it.
In person, book layer, Legions Con. Let's go.
Here we go. And we want Malcolm to read to us, please.
Yeah, all day long, all day long. Speaking of, what are we? 3 weeks away now?
3
Less
weeks,
than that?
baby. 3 weeks. Here we go.
Dude, it is coming up way too fast now.
I'm so excited, dude. I just finished this morning I was sealing all of the heads that I have so far. I sealed like I don't know, 60, 70, 80 different head sculpts that I painted. And boxed them up. And I'll probably be shipping those out to Jonathan because I don't want him to have any hard feelings that he's not going to get a box to bring to me to Legions Con.
Yeah, and then he was like, "No, I don't want you to ship my stuff anymore."
Perfect timing.
No, I'm coming back on now. Hey guys, we're back. Just kidding. What's happening? What did I miss?
Yeah, you're gonna get a box. You're gonna get a box of heads, painted heads. So
I love
you're
it.
gonna be responsible for something. So if you lose my shit, our friendship's over.
Listen, the clock was always ticking. But I do have the banner.
Yes. Yeah, I need my banner too. Don't forget anything, man, because we're also going to be taking a early morning drive back to your house.
The good thing is it's not that far away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like less than an hour from the venue. I'm like,
Hey,
maybe 40
John,
minutes?
you're not. Are you coming to? You're not coming to intern, are you?
I am.
Oh, you are going to be at intern. Okay, cool,
Yep.
cool. I didn't. Well, I knew we were invited. I just didn't know if you were like, because I thought for some reason you had said something about you not like being able to make it or something like that.
I did. I still have to sort of figure that part out. There is like this really big case that we've had around for a couple of years now is we've got a trial date and an appeal going on, and I just got the email from National Counsel a week or two ago. They scheduled like, sometimes like when you have a big money case, you'll do like a mock trial, or if you have a big appeal, you do like a mock appeal argument where you like pay a company to like sort of practice like literally like it's a trial or an appellate argument, and they scheduled it for that day.
Oh
man.
So they scheduled it for that day.
So you're going to show up in the $1 million suit? Is that what you're saying?
For sure.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's the good thing is it's by Zoom, and it's because it's like just like an argument before the court that's being practiced. It's only supposed to be like 2 hours. So
hopefully,
I may
fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, my office is probably a good half an hour from the studio. So I don't know. I might try to find an office closer to the studio where I can just hole up with like headphones and my laptop to do what I needed to do, and then get over to the studio as quickly as possible.
I got the perfect solution. We'll make you a backdrop. Just do it in your car. Have your headphones on in your car, and then you can just roll right into intern.
Exactly.
There you go. So yes, I did say that. It's because that there is something that was scheduled for that morning.
That's what I thought. I knew it was something, so I was thinking, man, are you not going to be there? Because we have to figure out how us three are going to get back to your place before we head back to the hotel. Because I want to visit the basement there.
So that's probably a better idea, maybe on the way back. Because to sort of set it up. So what's the easiest way to describe this? So if this is the studio, sort of like this is my office, and like where I live is more like down here, right? I don't know if my arms are on the right place, but the thing is, I'm further south than both the convention and the studio. Maybe like let's say like a half an hour south of both of those things. I mean, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Either way.
Plus, it'll be Thursday. We got time. It's not. I mean, we're in no rush. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could, like I said, we can grab something to eat. We could take our time, freaking geek out in your room for a while, and then, like I said, and then we'll head to the hotel and let the party begin.
We'll figure it out, man.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
No, I will be an intern. Well, I actually will also like confirm that it's okay to, if I have to go in late, if that's okay. Double check. That's not up to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, intern sounds like it's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. I was telling Jeremy it's kind of cool it's a different vibe for me, obviously, for probably all of us that are returning as invited guests. For me, I told Jeremy, I said, it's kind of like it kind of feels like almost like a celebrity vibe. You know what I mean? Like, it's like we're there to like to be the, I don't know, kind of like the guest celebs to meet and greet everybody, all the newcomers and the first timers into Mythic Legions and to the intern day, and just help everybody enjoy themselves, because I'm sure they're a lot of us are well known throughout the community and throughout the whole Mythic Legions vibe. So it's kind of like I said, it almost feels like a celeb status, like walking in there this time around. It's kind of cool. It's like I'm very thankful, and I feel very fortunate to be part of that elite group. Whoa. John's got a catapult in his house.
Let me fix that.
Well, dude, not only the celebrity status, but seeing the people who have never actually seen the studio in person, just walking through the first door and
Oh
looking
yeah.
at that whole setup and watching their faces, be like, "Holy
Oh yeah.
shit,
Yeah.
it's gonna
Yeah.
be something to behold, man."
Yeah. And then seeing the wall of all the figures.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's like I
it's
said. I told Jeremy, I said, to me, it's not even really being like, it's not even like, I don't even see it as intern for me.
mhm.
To me, it's like I just want to be there and kind of like help everybody just have a great time there and just like watch everybody just enjoy themselves. I mean, I
Oh
said
yeah,
I don't want to interfere with any of the when they start breaking groups off into like I don't want to like try to like force myself into a group or try. I want to just stand back and watch everybody just enjoy themselves, man. I just I hope everybody just has an amazing time, which I totally know they will. A trip though to me is knowing that going to intern, unlike before, when you went to intern, you also went to GCon. And
yeah,
I think 2022, when I went to intern, was the last year
mhm.
they actually did GCon at the studio, which is kind of a trip because it was like, oh, I went to the very last GCon in the studio, which is, it's like a total trip to think that the way they do it now. But
And it's
yeah.
dude, it's crazy to see how big it's gotten.
Oh
Because I don't
man.
think all of the people that were at GCon last year would have fit in that little it's not
Oh
that small, but they wouldn't have fit in that back room.
no, no,
There's no
no
way.
way. No way. No way. Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, yeah, you're
Yeah.
Okay,
fine.
good.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool and all, but I mean, to have gone to the greatest intern for a day
Oh boy, here
ever,
we go.
like Ryan and I did, it's different, You like you can sort of smell it in the air, like it's different. Like you can smell like the glittering, when you're at.
All I would have had to do is show up one day earlier, and I would have never had to hear this bullshit that year because I was there, but I just didn't go. I didn't go to intern that year. Damn it! I should have went that year.
Yeah, it was. Listen, it's when you're Jonathan Donath, Ryan Gonzalez, Amber
Yeah,
Gonzalez. This is
yeah.
where all this stuff. This is where this stuff started. It really
That's where it was
began.
born. That's where it was born, right there. Yeah.
Brad and Mike, Legion's Lair, the whole thing.
Yep. Yep.
That all started back then. So listen,
That was where Mythic Enablers, that was like the budding
the Mythic
kind of
Enablers,
solidifying that. Yeah.
Yeah, 2021 was a if you were there, you were there. And if you weren't, you can still have almost as much fun as we did.
Yeah, I had a pretty good time. Hey, you guys were at intern. You weren't on the car ride from JFK to the hotel with Greg and Walter.
No, I was not.
Let me tell you, that was a ride. That was a ride not to be forgotten.
I can't imagine.
Oh man.
I remember that because didn't you get to the hotel and then you guys, I think there was a couple of you that went right to dinner. Was it that night?
No, it was the night after. It was the night after. Yeah.
Because I saw you and I didn't even like get a chance to say what's up, and you guys just went right to dinner. But it was nice to be at intern the next year because then I actually got to sit down and talk with you and
yeah.
dude.
Yeah, that's when we totally hit it off. What was that intern? But yeah, that was a cool night. Getting to the airport and waiting for GCon to be over, and I just sat tight at the airport for like almost 3 hours.
Damn.
Yeah, and I because Greg said he was going to pick me up, so I said, "Hey, I'm here at the airport," and he says, "Oh, we're right in the middle of GCon." I said, "Well, take your time, dude. I'll wait. It's no big deal." Of course, I had to wait like 3.5 hours, but I was sitting there. I was like, "Okay, I'll just sit here and wait." Had my stizzy, so I was pretty cool for a while. So yeah, but yeah, we went to Greg's house, and Greg let me roam through his room, which was, like I said, just a mind-blowing experience. That was like the kickoff of that weekend, was going into Greg's room and just, oh my God, just so freaking awesome. And then after that, we went and picked up Nikki and Steve. What's her buddy's name? Steve. Damn, I can't remember his name. It's a dude that worked at her table with her.
I know you're talking about. I can't remember his
Yeah,
name.
I can't remember his last name. Anyways, yeah, we went and picked them up at the airport, and I was all fanboyed out. I was sitting next to Nikki. I'm like, I'm with the fucking queen. I was like, yeah. I was like, hell yeah. Yeah, it was cool, man. Yeah, what a trip, man. And like I said, to think back to them for, from 2021, I mean, going forward into what we're at now, I mean, that little tiny ass little hotel and it being in a separate location at the PAL and, in that little like lunch room or whatever. And it's like, and I mean, there was basically like 20 tables in that place, you know what I mean? To it being a full blown 2-day event in a beautiful hotel that's got this amazing ballroom and, oh my God, it's crazy. It's like it's nothing like what it started as. Nothing. So
yeah,
cool.
I do feel like, and I think Eric, that you made a post about this. I think when it happened, when Jeremy posted about the hotels the other, like a few days ago or whatever it was, and it was that the hotels were almost all sold out.
Mm-hmm.
Like the venue hotel, the backup hotels were almost all sold out, and it sort of hit me too. I was like, damn. I was like, that's where it's at now. We can sell out like 3 different hotels.
Yeah.
Like I said it to Victoria. I'm like, dude, you don't understand where this like sort of started at. Like I wasn't even at the first Legions Con, which was just sort of like on an offshoot of Toy Con, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
But even the first one I went to in 2021, that was in like the ancillary room of the PAL for Toy Con New Jersey was in the big room.
Yeah.
And Legions Con took place like in the smaller like room that was like a cafeteria or something.
Yeah.
And for that to go from that to where it is now and to become like this, it's like almost like a whole week almost now of different events. It's pretty mind-blowing.
Not only that, but setup and teardown were both in the same day in the span of a couple of hours. That's got to be fucking nerve-wracking.
That's crazy to think of.
Dude, 2021 was like seriously nerve-wracking because we all got there around 6, 7 in the morning, and they let us in, and it was just, I mean, it was like go, and literally like, I mean, the doors open and like people started flooding in. Like,
that's what it was.
Now, Eric Miller chimes in and says we had to clear out quickly because they had bingo that night.
Yeah. They were like, get the fuck out. You know what I mean? Basically, they were like, let's go, get out of here with your fucking figures. Yeah,
that's freaking incredible.
It was 2021 was insane, dude. That was but it was kind of like that. To me, I mean, obviously it wasn't the first, but after what they did the meetup in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Virtual in 2020, so 2021 was like, okay, let's see what we can do, and let's see if we can all get this. Let's see if we can actually make this happen and make this an event. And I mean, kudos to every single person, whether you had a table or not, that was involved in that year. I mean, I think it went off flawless. I think it was amazing how and now what it's really turned into be, and to look at where we are now. Like my mom even asked me, she was like, so is the hotel, like, is this like at this event, is it like a nice hotel, or is it like a rundown, like a fucking,
nice
stumble in kind of? I said, oh, hell no. I said, this is a really nice hotel. I said, from where we started. I said, this is a really nice place. It's crazy. But yeah, it's so cool to think, like I said, especially to be, as far as we've come in such a short time, to see how far we've all come, in the community and with the event. It's just amazing, man. I just can't ever imagine not being a part of it, especially from being a part of it from the very beginning. It's so cool. Such an honor too, man.
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing where like I want to like show people. Like I tell Vic's come with me to a couple of toy conventions, like here and there, like but she's never been to Legions Con. And like when she's talking about going with me to like, because she's not into really this stuff or toys or anything like that at all. But she likes cool stuff. And I'm like, no, I really want you to come. If you're going to just go to one, come to Legions Con. Just come, come Saturday, come Sunday, like maybe like a chiller day, and just walk around with me. And like, I think you'll see some cool stuff that like, you'll be like, holy crap. Like, that's really cool. Like, and just the idea, like, it is such a it's so big, but it is such a family atmosphere. Like, it's tough. you know, for somebody that's been around in the community for a few years, it's tough to like walk more than 20 feet without running into somebody else that you know and like
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that you have to stop and talk, you know, because
Absolutely.
so
And what's oh sorry, no, sorry. I didn't
no,
mean to
dude, go ahead, man.
No, I was gonna say what's nice about it is that this is the kind of convention you can go to
Mhm.
by yourself and you will make friends. Just
Oh.
put yourself out there and talk to somebody. It's not like a New York Comic Con where you can possibly make friends, but it's way like on a bigger scale. This is a much more intimate show,
Yeah.
which is nice.
And unlike any, I mean, and I've been to tons of them now. I mean, I literally didn't start going to cons until 2019. My first con I ever went to in my entire life. I mean, which is weird to say as a toy collector and geek and comic book guy. I've never been to a con until 2019, but all the cons that I've been to since then, which I've been to 20 plus cons now that I've attended, Legion's Con is by far the most different kind of con atmosphere you'll ever experience in your life. It just because it's not, like I said, the cons to me are, you know, the booth after booth after booth that are, you know, 95%, you know, all the guys with the miscellaneous, like vintage, you know, Motu stuff, the Star Wars stuff, this and that, comic books, you know, stuff like that. This place, it's like an art show. You know, it's like walking through a museum of cool art, and there's so many different collaborators out there that are doing so many innovative things with their artwork and their designs, and it's just, I don't know, it's just an amazing experience. To me, it just does not have that con feel to it. You know what I mean? Like I watched, you know, a lot of these, like I said, the walkthroughs that people are doing of New York Comic Con, and it just has that like overwhelming feeling of just you just don't even know where to go, because you're just like, well, you know, am I into, you know, Dragon Ball Z? Am I into, you know, NECA? Am I into Transformers? I mean, and there's 100 million other things, lights flashing and, you know, shit flying around, and you're just like, I don't even know where to go and where to start in this place. And then plus it's just asses to elbows with people that really you don't even know. If you're lucky to recognize two faces inside of New York Comic Con, you're lucky. You know what I mean? You're fortunate. In Legion's Con, like you said, you can't walk 5 feet without running into 3 different people that you've known like very well, and you know, have a 20-30 minute conversation right there on the floor with. It's crazy. It's so cool. And then the after party, I mean, most people that leave New York Comic Con, they jump on the bus or the train or in their cars and they're gone. They leave. Man, Legion's Con, I mean, goes on till 2-3 o'clock in the freaking morning, man. I mean, no one wants that party to stop.
Sometimes it doesn't stop.
It doesn't.
There are
people. Yeah. Yeah, it's insane, man. And like I said, I've never seen a con environment that can, you know, bring that much together in just one type of show. It's insane.
So that's actually a pretty good segue, because actually the last couple of days, Ryan and I both went to New York Comic Con. New York, like,
lucky.
I live in New Jersey. Ryan lives in Pennsylvania, so we've both been in New York Comic Con before multiple times. And we actually talked about that exact topic. Like, and here's the thing: I love New York Comic Con. I go almost every year. I go, and it's just kind of like it's an experience. Like, it's a complete madhouse. But it is very much like want sensory overload.
Yeah,
you know, and it's so big, and like 300,000 people go. Like, in the course of 4 days. The place is massive, and there's tons of amazing stuff to see, and there's tons of independent creators, and like you can have like random stuff can happen. Like, I always tell the story where I was in Artist Alley downstairs at New York Comic Con and happened to walk by one table. Who's sitting there by himself at his table? Larry freaking Hama. Like, and I got to like go talk to him. Like, it's awesome. And it's like, I was so happy to hang out with Ryan the last couple of days, and we got some pictures and stuff to talk about. And one thing this year that I was very happy about is it did feel like that action figures and toys made a huge comeback at this year's New York Comic Con. And we'll get into that a little bit. But Ryan said it. while we were there at one point, and I couldn't agree more, is that going to New York Comic Con now very much like makes you excited for Legions Con. Because listen, don't get me wrong, I love New York Comic Con. I'm never gonna stop going, like as long as I can go. Like it's this like super cool, crazy. It's the closest thing that we would get to San Diego over here on the East Coast. Like San Diego might be the only one that's bigger, I think. Maybe. I've never been there. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never been.
But the cool thing about going to New York Comic Con, I think, to me, having done it multiple times, is that it's a great contrast. Like it's in October, so in less than a month, you're going to Legions Con. You have that huge, massive overload, that sensory overload, and then you have Legions Con less than a month later, which is like a completely different thing. It's like it makes Legions Con feel even more intimate, and like even more personable, and it's like. I had a blast at New York Comic Con. I can't wait to go back next year, but like it makes me look forward to Legions Con even more.
Yeah, definitely. All
right, so let's check out some cool shit. Let's start with this. Here we go. So Ryan and I both were at New York Comic Con on Thursday. And one of the cool things that happened this year at New York Comic Con is that Mezco came back. This is, Mezco's hometown, New York City convention. And Mezco had not been back to New York Comic Con since before the pandemic. So it was cool to sort of have them back. And I will tell you that how freaking cool the Mezco 1/12 collection looks, like all lined up. They had these cases, like surrounding the booth, and it was just awesome. And that's where me and Ryan met up. Ryan, what time did you get to the convention on Thursday? I don't remember.
We got there at 5:30.
Jesus.
Ryan doesn't give a shit. Like he's going to the convention early.
Damn. What time did they open the doors?
I had to pick up my badge at Will Call because I couldn't get to the city the 2 days before where you could do that. And I had a nagging suspicion that something was going to be wrong with the badge pickup. And lo and behold, there was something wrong with the badge pickup. So it took about 45 minutes to get that all settled. But I was able to get up like near where the VIPs line up around like 9.
Oof, man, that's already a long day.
Yeah. Plus I took so my day actually started earlier than that because I had to drive to the Hamilton train station because I take the Northeast Corridor train up to New York Penn Station.
Okay.
So that was the only reason I got up at the ass crack of dawn.
Crazy.
And then I did it again on Friday.
like I got up it's like 5:45-ish. I go downstairs on Thursday, I'm like, I'll do some work, blah, 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 get ready. And then I'm just taking the bus straight from Clinton, New Jersey, east across New Jersey into New York City, right to Port Authority bus terminal, and then walking over to the Jacob Javits Center. And I get a text message, yo, I'm here. And I'm like, why? Because New York Comic Con's not like, it's not like a convention that like you go and like you line up early for. Plus we had passes that could get you in, but but one way or another, I just don't know if Ryan has it in his DNA not to go to a convention early. You know what I mean? Like he's just able to do that in a way that I'm not able to.
No, I'm not, because I'm paying for it currently sitting here talking to you guys. Hey, dude, I am exhausted, and I'm pretty sure I got con crud. There's no way I didn't.
Oh no.
God. No,
I still feel okay. I mean, listen, if you're gonna get it, you're around like a billion different people.
Yeah, there's the high probability.
Now, I will say, I preemptively,
there it is.
Bless you.
Yeah, thank you.
I preemptively got some jabs. I got my COVID vaccination. I got my flu vaccination ahead of time because not so much about New York Comic Con. But I just I don't want to come down with any sickness in the weeks leading up to Legions Con. Yep. Like I'm thinking like the week before Legions Con, I just might hide. I might work remotely, hide in my house. I don't want to like have anything go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that just before Legion's Con, man. No way.
So the Mezco booth had tons of awesome stuff. They had the Static X, if I'm saying it correctly, the Doc Nocturnal statue was there. And in addition to, Mezco had a bunch of Mezco 112 figures that like have been out and stuff like that and just displayed really cool. They had a number of brand new figures, including this 112th Collective 1982 movie Conan the Barbarian. Tell me what you guys think about this.
Super dope, dude. That looks so good.
Yeah, it's probably nobody cares what you're buying. It's probably a pass for me because I'm trying to trim it down. But if I was going to get a movie Conan, that would be it for sure.
Yeah.
If you're a Conan guy, and the head, the face portrait is very good.
Yeah,
very good here.
It looks great. Yeah, it looks great. I'm sorry, but I was super, super geeked out when Super 7 was doing the whole Conan series. And when they released that figures, I was like, nope, that's a definite pass for me. I did not like those figures at all. I just not like the way that they look. They just look wonky. I was like, man, it's so terrible because I was so stoked to finally see someone do Conan the Barbarian, and it did not work for me. But this one looks amazing, dude. Especially that war paint one. That's like my favorite look of Conan. It looks so good, dude. Looks so
and
good.
some of the Super 7 ones I think look okay. Don't look too bad. The Thulsa Doom I think looks pretty cool. But that this one's going to have better articulation. They're going to have some good soft goods there. The portrait already is really good. Very, very cool. And I didn't know this was coming. And the thing is, it's not even pending license or approval or anything. They're just like, here it is. We're doing this.
Nice.
Well, this was like the first time they showed that.
Yeah.
There was that, the next one you did, and then another one. Actually, there was two more.
Nate Strong says, I look at this figure and all I can hear is Brad Jones.
Yeah.
Get to the chopper.
Yep. Oh my God.
So who knows about Doc Savage?
This
is the deep cut. I barely know anything about Doc Savage.
I have no idea.
It looks awesome, though.
It's an old school comic character, I understand. There you go. Doc Savage, pending license or approval, not final. Just like Ryan said, they had multiple figures like this that they were showing for the first time, even figures that they don't even have approval on yet.
This is
including Samurai Jack. Talk to me about Samurai Jack.
Yeah, dude.
I need this.
Yeah, dude.
I love that as a kid. Oh my God.
I used to watch this with my kid all the time, dude. He freaking loves Samurai Jack, dude. I can't wait for him to see this. He's gonna flip. I hope this gets approval, and I hope they do this. This looks so good. I love it.
People seem really pumped about the Samurai Jack.
Yeah, Samurai Jack looks like the shit, bro.
Yeah,
so cool, dude. So cool.
And with the head sculpt, dude, they stay true to that.
Yeah, totally.
Spot
It
on.
looks great,
so
dude.
Good.
It's funny because Mezco, I can't think of how many animated style figures like this has Mezco done. I can't think of any.
Batman is the only. Oh wait,
did they do it? Well, no, I guess the old school is kind of animated.
Yeah.
This looks incredible, dude. I love it, dude.
This is a buy.
Yeah, this is a definite buy, dude.
Yeah.
Dark Layer says Space Ghost.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, that's right. As a matter of fact, that is one that's sort of on the Mezco bucket list for me. The glow in the dark Space Ghost. And then they had some other 112 figures that have been announced, solicited, but haven't come out yet, including the Beetlejuice. The Beetlejuice looks great, man. I pre-ordered Beetlejuice. That was
already pre-ordered.
Absolutely,
it's already in the bag.
Paid for. I needed this one.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, did I talk about this? I don't remember if I did or not. That I did go to see Beetlejuice 2, Beetlejuice with my daughter. She wanted to go. It freaking great weekend, man. So Saturday, this was 2 weeks ago, I want to say. Saturday, Chase and I go to see Transformers 1 in the movies. Freaking awesome, incredible. And then the next day, I went to go see Beetlejuice with Grayson. Transformers 1 is the best movie I've seen this year, period. Beetlejuice It was good. Michael Keaton does a great job. Winona Ryder does a great job. Jenna Ortega is, for the character she was playing, I thought she did a good job. I thought she was fine, and I understand why they wanted to put her in. But there's a few things about the movie that didn't quite hit for me. Like, there's no like Alec Baldwin. There's no the main characters from the first movie are not in this movie, so that was rough. That was tough to sort of like get used to, because you saw like the first movie was all there from their point of view. You know what I mean? And them not being in the movie really hurt this time around, I thought. And there are a few points in the movie where they just did things where you're like, this is completely insane. So that's cool that it was like completely insane, and Catherine O'Hara is really good again, but it was just, I don't know, man. So Beetlejuice was good, not great. Transformers 1, fantastic.
Yeah. Beetlejuice for me was just, it's like I seen it once, I'm good. Like I don't ever see myself owning that film. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know. It had some of the, the classic nostalgic vibes. Of course, seeing Keaton back in character was just freaking amazing. But
and he's great. He's
it was
great.
just a one and done. The thing that really threw me in that whole film that I was like, oh my God, like that's insane. It was DeVito's cameo in that film.
Yes.
I was just like, dude, like, whoa, what?
I didn't see that coming. Yeah,
that was like, what the hell? Like, okay, like that was
spoiler
really
alert.
Cool. Spoiler alert, sorry.
And Adam and Barbara, that was Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis's characters. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, Gina Davis. Yeah, that's right.
And they just sort of mentioned that they've gone off, that they found a way to kind of like ascend or whatever.
Yeah, and I heard they didn't bring the dad back because he was in some kind of legal trouble. Yeah, so that he wasn't part of. That's why he wasn't part of the film. Which kind of sucked. Because they have his character is sort of in the movie a little bit. And actually, when I'm watching the movie, I'm like, wait, did he die? I'm like, I thought maybe he died. Did he not die? No.
The actor, I mean?
No.
Okay, good. I'm glad he didn't die.
No, he's in some kind of legal trouble or what. So yeah, they didn't bring him into the cast.
Oh.
So that was kind of a bummer. I mean, that's why they did like the headless shark bitten version of him. So it's like, what the hell? Like, what's that all about? And that's what it was all about. So
anyway,
I guess that's one way to write around a character.
That was just a little diversion.
Yeah, exactly.
Point being, the Mezco Beetlejuice looks amazing. So I'm very excited about it.
Super stoked.
Junkyard Joe, another upcoming figure that some people were very excited about. And the Indiana Jones. Like I talked about this a lot when this was solicited. This was another Insta buy. This was like one of like the grails that haven't happened yet. For years, I'm like, all I want is a Mezco 1/12 collective Indiana Jones. And they solicited him, immediately pre-ordered it. And I got to see him up close in the case. And I think it looks incredible. I think it's perfect. I think Mezco is perfect for this kind of figure. All of like the soft goods and everything look incredible. I think the likeness is pretty good. I am very excited to get this figure in hand. I hope it's not too far into 2025.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to play the pickup game on that one. I didn't pre-order that one. That one's freaking. Once I saw this picture, I'm like, God damn it! Like I knew I should have pre-ordered that. Damn it! It looks freaking amazing. Yeah, that looks so good, dude. So good.
Yeah, I don't even know what the ship date is right now. Yeah. And then a couple of the other new ones. We had movie Deadpool and movie Wolverine. Deadpool will be coming up in a second. This Wolverine, I'm glad it's not final because it looks odd. Looks a little weird to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sculpt does not look good.
There's something about like a little too skinny. The head sculpt looked weird a little bit to me. Like,
I feel like the neck looks a little too long.
The bottom part of his face, he looks like the guy from the guy who's in The Boys, the guy who's fighting the guy.
Homelander? Oh no, no,
No.
the Australian guy.
Yeah.
Carl Urban. Is that
Mhm.
his name?
Yeah, it kind of looks like his like bottom half of his jaw.
Correct.
It just looks weird.
What's up, dude?
What up, man?
And then people were very excited about this.
That looks cool. I'm surprised they haven't done a Thor yet. That's crazy. This is the first time
Right.
they've done Thor, right?
As
Yeah.
far as I know.
Yeah, I'm totally surprised they've never
great
done a
picture.
classic Thor. I guess because every other year they were making like 15 Batmans.
Yeah.
And what is there like? There's like 32 versions of Batman in the Mezco line. It's like crazy, dude.
Give or take.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, can't you do another character? Or is like just one guy going, I'm just gonna make another Batman.
So going back to the Wolverine real quick.
Oh, there
now,
you go. They did Ragnarok Thor only.
Yeah.
I thought I had seen a Thor. I thought I had seen one, but just like a classic Thor. That's like full on classic comic book Thor right there. That
I'm
was
now
so
imagining this.
cool.
I'm imagining this Wolverine going, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I'm Wolverine. Yeah. Fantastic. All right, sorry.
It's great.
I thought that was funny. Yeah, the Thor looks. People seem very happy with the way the Thor looks too, and it's not even final. So, yeah, Eric
That
Miller says
spin
this
hammer
Thor is
effect looks
fantastic.
fucking dope.
Yeah, really great.
That looks so cool.
And look at his pants. They're like these cloth pants, like very comic. You know.
Yeah, that's classic comic Thor right there, man.
Super cool. Here's the Deadpool. I mean, there's actually a lot of really good Deadpools at this point now. But here you go. Mezco coming back in for the movie version. I don't know that there's anything really big or different here. But that you're going to get 90 billion movie Deadpool and Wolverine figures, of course.
Yeah. At some point you gotta pick a favorite and go with that.
Yeah, it's
or be like some guys and buy every single one of them and have 58,000 Deadpools and Wolverine figures in your collection. It's like,
but yeah, so they had a couple of really incredible displays out in front of the Mezco booth. And then Ryan, did you say that so Darius D Amazing was there, like working the booth, kind of like taking pictures, kind of like doing almost like crowd control a little bit, like around the Mezco booth and stuff. But did you say that he said that he had worked on the displays a little?
No, I think he said he did most of the posing for the figures in the displays.
Posing for the display.
Yeah, I think he said that Toy Page did like a refresh on some of the dios.
Mm-hmm. So this was one of them, and at the top you've got Tangerine, who we're going to talk about in a couple of minutes, who is a Mezco 1/12 character that I've been waiting for. They've showed her the figure at a couple of different conventions before this, and they just basically they haven't put her up for solicitation yet, but they did show like the official Mezco solicitation pictures for her, so I assume it's coming up soon. She looks awesome in person. Oh, sorry. And then underneath. So this, Ryan, did you say what figure was this? The one that the mummified figure?
I thought it was like the black skulls that they just wrapped in the cloth and then just dirtied it up. But I could be wrong.
So yeah, so
I know they're not like solicited figures.
Yeah. So sometimes you don't know with like these Mezco displays, they'll put in like new stuff in there and you're like, Art, is this like an actual figure we're going to see down the line? Or is this something they just did for the display? I assume this is just something for the display, but you never know, man.
Interesting.
Down below, you got a little Mosquatch underneath here. There's a close-up of the Tangerine figure doing battle. So yeah, so obviously at New York Comic Con, the amount of stuff that you can look at is just endless. But one booth in particular that sort of hung me and Ryan up a couple of times was this booth Fan Home, which I guess is sort of like like upscaled, high scaled, like essentially model kits that they do by subscription service. And just to give you some sort of like point of reference, this movie Optimus is at least 18 inches, maybe 20 or more inches tall. Like it's huge. And Ryan, you were able to get some info about how like it sort of works. So how does this whole the fan home subscription thing work?
So you subscribe to it, and then each month they send you like different parts of the model kit, so you can build that and then get ready for the next month when they ship that out, and then you kind of put it all together at like the end of the subscription for said model kit. I'm not sure about price. Obviously, the pricing varies depending on what you're getting, but when I did ask about it, that's what they said. It's a subscription based model kit. So you might only get like the arms one shipment, and then the torso another shipment, and then the legs and so on.
Yeah, it's weird. I just went to the website and it's like difficult to sort of.
That's why I asked, because I went to the website too, because I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, because
I'm afraid to ask what I'm afraid to ask what that subscription costs, man, because this thing looks ridiculous. And this is a model kit. That's freaking insane, man.
It's not that. It's weird. Hold on a second. Let me find one. Here we go. It's coming soon. All right, so it's not gonna have pricing. I'm trying to find one.
I was thinking that was when I saw this picture. I thought it was something from like 3.0 or something, because they do some amazing Transformers.
So it's bigger than that. It's kind of like some of them have the scale on there, some of them don't. But the ones that do, some of them say like 1/8 scale.
Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ.
Here, maybe I'm trying to find one that actually has a price.
That's crazy, man.
Subscribe now.
They did. I don't know if you saw that, but they did have like a huge, I believe it was a Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Over in the corner. It was crazy big.
So here's the thing. The subscription prices are like $15 each. And Ryan, you said that you saw this for the car, right?
Yeah, because I was looking at
$15 a month. So I'm assuming that they must send it to you in like 12 shipments or something like that for it to be $15 a month.
Yeah, you get it like a foot.
Yeah, and because then we went and asked one of the reps, like, how does this work? And they're like, yeah, you pay a subscription fee, and then every month you get another piece of the project, whatever it is, if it's a robot, if it's a car, whatever. And you get to build sort of that piece, and then the next month you get the next piece until you have the whole thing.
I will say the one thing that I did notice on the website is you're not charged shipping and handling for every delivery. So you might get charged for the initial one, and then like 2 stages next, like later, they'll give you the free delivery. Then they'll charge you for the next one, and then it might be free, charged free, like every other.
Yeah, and it looks like it's only $1.75. So there's 8 stages.
This was another one of their model kits then?
Yeah, that's what all these are all just model kits.
That's crazy. Yeah, I thought these were like statues or something when I saw them. I was like, whoa, these are insane, man.
If I'm understanding this correctly from their website, they're only like $100 or something like that each. Like,
that's
how
wild.
That be possible?
Yeah, this looks way expensive, dude. This does not look like $100.
And it's huge. I'm telling you, it's huge.
Yeah. They look big, dude.
Here's the thing: is that there might be. I hadn't really thought about this before. There might be just no articulation.
It doesn't look like there's articulation at all. Like I said, that's why I thought you were like at a statue booth. That's what I thought this was.
But Ryan, the car you were looking at was like remote control, wasn't it?
Not necessarily. Like it had like a. It looked like you could control like the lights and stuff for it in it.
Okay.
But then again, I'm not sure because the website's not the easiest to navigate. I'm not going to lie.
I was just looking at an R2D2 there and like the subscription is $13.95 per month for 8 months.
That Iron Man looks fantastic too, man. That was freaking crazy good.
I can't even tell you how good this movie Optimus and especially this Iron Spider looked in person.
So cool.
And they had this 66 Batmobile.
Ooh.
It looked so good.
Hey,
And Ryan,
if you never got the Jazz Ink one, this would be a cool
Yeah.
option. You know what I
Yep.
mean? If you're a Batman
sure.
fan for that 66 version, that looks freaking sweet, dude.
It
That
looks-
looks super dope.
it looks even better in person. All right, this is a Storm Collectibles. They had like a little exclusive here. Do you want to say anything about this, Ryan? I know you pointed this out to me.
Yeah, it's I think I'm saying Yujiro. It's from Baki the Grappler. I didn't actually end up picking this up because I didn't really like how it looked in person, but
Yeah.
still cool if you did.
Yep. Here's Ryan telling me about Gundams.
Yeah, I actually got a chance to go into the Gundam base because they had that pop up there. Because I missed the one in Tom's River, but dude, it was like sensory overload. I couldn't decide what to get, and I just ended up getting nothing.
They look so good, man.
Yeah,
I've never owned a
I'm
Gundam.
so jealous, dude. I would have so been geeking out in there.
and dude, this incredible.
So
Dude,
rad.
Vac Metal. I think it was Vac Metal or whatever it is. It looked very metallic. In person, I'm like, all right, I have never owned a Gundam. This would be the one I would own, and I probably would gladly pay $78 for it. It looks really great in person.
And they're
honestly,
the kids
because
are fully articulated.
Honestly, because I've probably built 60, 75 Gundams already. $78 for an HG Gundam, which is basically their lowest level of Gundam kits. That's a lot of money, dude. That's a lot of money, even if it's in VAC metal. A standard HG kit is around $20.
Damn.
Yeah.
But I know exactly what you're talking about, but I think these are like more of the ones that get sold on like premium Bandai.
Okay, yeah.
So they're going to be a little higher, like because the master grade ones usually go for like what, $80, and those are huge
like
ones.
the premium Bandai ones are a lot more than that, but yeah, master grade on like the US side is just like their master grade kits are around $70-$80. But yeah, that's man, I would have been so fucking geeking out in this booth for sure.
And that was booth. The line lasted around the booth all day.
Both days, I could imagine. Yeah.
So that was one thing. So the way New York Comic Con works is there's one main big floor, right?
Yeah.
And it's massive. Like it's just, I can't even explain to you how massive it is. And that's where like all like the big companies and stuff are. Downstairs, there's Artist Alley where there's just rows and rows and rows of, various artists everywhere from like independent artists that have no following or anything whatsoever that are just trying to make it. So like fairly famous comic book creators like there as well. And the thing is at on the main floor, like the more you go to either end, like the traffic like loosens up a little bit. But the biggest and longest lines are at the Funko booth. Like you can't even see what's in the Funko booth until you get in there, and you have to literally wait online all day long to get in.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It's crazy. Tamashii Nations also had a really huge line the first day. Now I had told a couple of people that I would try to pick stuff up for them. And at Tamashii Nations, like me and Ryan went there early on Thursday, and it was like the line looked like it was multiple hours before you would get through.
That's crazy, dude.
It's even funnier because Jonathan, I had to go down to do the sign up table, and then Jonathan was like, all right, I'm going to try and get it. And then after the CLE class, we went back up. I walked right up and bought it.
I was happy when I went to go wait in line, like because again, earlier in the day, it was like multiple hours to wait to get any of the Tamashii Nations exclusives. When I went, it was down to like maybe 20 minutes, and I was pumped. And then when Ryan went, there was no line. And then when we went on Friday, there was no line either. So
it's crazy.
And they lasted for a while too. I think they still had some at the end of Friday.
Yeah, they sold out of some stuff, but they had a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
I was super jealous. I was like, damn, a Gundam booth, so cool.
Oh yeah, so we also went to the Mondo booth. And at first, because Mondo's now owned by Funko, when we were walking up to like the Funko booth, again, like it has a line wrapping around it like multiple times, and you have to wait in that line to get inside the Funko booth to even see anything they have. I don't give a crap about Funko. Like I'm not don't need pops or anything, but I did want to see what was in the Mondo booth, and the Mondo booth was sort of like attached to it. And at first, it looked like you had to wait in the whole Funko line to get in to see Funko or any of the Mondo stuff. And I was like, that would be the dumbest thing in the world if they made you wait in that line to see the Funko stuff. Like nobody's like people, like a lot of people aren't going to do that. Luckily, it wasn't that. You kind of had to like figure out your way like around the line all the way down the end, and then you could just get into the Mondo booth, which was also kind of wacky. But the Mondo booth was cool. They didn't have a ton of stuff. They did have the buzz off that a lot of people are talking about on display, which looks really cool. It looks really cool. I mean, it's no David Williams custom, but
honestly, as soon as I saw it, it's a pass for me.
Yeah,
because I'm not. First off, I'm more of the classic, 80s, the first genre or the first waves of Motu. So I'm like, and that I've already pretty much got the entire collection of the Mondos that I want in my collection. Buzz Off is definitely not part of that character lineup that I want in my collection. So fortunately, seeing this because every time Mondo releases something, it's like, oh man, there goes a whole another wad of money or cash to a pre-order towards Mondo. As soon as I saw this, I was kind of like, whew, like, all right, I'm not going to order this one. And yeah, the David Williams one, perfection. So, and I'm super stoked to get that one.
It is cool. They do have some of the homages to the various versions of the 2000 and X version.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. I mean, like I said, I'm sure a lot of people are super pumped to see this, especially like I said, the later fans of this. And there again, here's another one that I was like, oh, I'm glad I don't have to buy this because I have the original.
Yeah, so the Mondo announced their new Faker, their deluxe Faker, this week, and they had him on display. Again, looks very, very cool. Like you, I'm not grabbing the buzz off. For the Mondo stuff, I'm kind of just sticking to just a couple, and I think I'll be able to do that right now. I've got the Merman, and I've got the deluxe Skeletor, which is incredible. And then they did a disco Skeletor, which I felt like I had to get. So I got that one too.
Yeah.
But like, I don't have any of the He-Mans.
Yeah.
I didn't get the Beastman. Like, I think I'm good now with what I have, but I do think what they're doing with the Motu line is really cool. And I do think the Faker looks cool.
Absolutely.
So what's up, Carver Customs?
What's up, dude?
So yeah, there's the Faker. That's me in front of the Mondo booth. Jada Toys, baby.
Yeah,
Jada Toys also had a great booth, man. What did you think about that Jada Toys booth, Ryan?
Oh, it was fantastic. And seeing all the Mega Man figures on display, I definitely can't wait for them.
Those Mega Man figures are dope, dude.
There you go.
Yeah, that's super dope, dude. That's a cool display too, man. That'd be a cool way to if you you built out a little display for your Mega Man collection just to do that's an easy dio to make too. If you think about it, if you look at the pieces, that's a pretty easy dio to recreate. If you just get some foam board and cut those pieces the way they have it and make it look kind of like that. What is that? Like an 8-bit style, backdrop for a video game and put your figures up there. That's a beautiful looking display, man. Really simple, but really makes those figures shine, and it looks so good, man.
Yeah,
so cool.
Again, so I showed the Fred Flintstone first. So continuing with their cereal line, they're doing Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles, and they have a Fred and a Barney figure. So very cool. I can probably stop short of grabbing these guys unless I see them in person and just need to get them. But I think they look really awesome, really fun.
But see, your problem is you got to get them out of the box. You can't just leave them in the box.
I can do whatever I want. God damn it!
Don't do that. Out of the box.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, those are cool, man. Those are cool. I was really digging. Man, I freaking was like, yes, when I saw the picture, the rest of the Street Fighter line, man. All the characters that they're coming out. Oh man, I'm like, yes. I'm like, those are the ones I'm waiting for.
I didn't get that one. I did have another picture of them.
I was gonna say I posted the Street Fighter display in the dork layer.
Yeah, I'll grab that too.
Yeah, that was the one I was super pumped to see at Jada. I was like, oh my god, yes.
Some of them do.
Seeing the Sagat and E Honda and oh man.
Here we go. Oh wait, no, that's Mezco.
Okay, fair point. I'll give you that.
What's that?
Steph said, but the box is the thing. Let's debate that.
Well, they do the packaging really, really cool.
Yeah.
So that is
like the two that I just got, Count Chocula and Frankenberry. Dude, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna take these out of package because this cereal box looks freaking amazing with them in it. It looks freaking so cool.
Here we go.
Plus, it's got the cool window box with the magnetic, bits on it to keep it closed, and I think it looks amazing. I don't know. I like the whole. I like it. It's one of those few figures that I like in box.
Wait, is this right? I think this is right. Yeah. There we go. Jada Toys. Here we go.
Yeah, dude. Look at that, dude. Look at that lineup. So good.
Look at that. The Blanca looks crazy.
Yeah, Blanca.
Badass.
Sagat in the back, dude. So good, man. I love it.
The only one I really think I need is Dalcium, but like it's an incredible display together.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, those are gonna look great on my Brian Almeida display that I have. Freaking that Dio is fucking so sick. I love that. That thing sits center stage right underneath my TV inside my credenza that I have there with everything on it. So good.
The fact that they were able to do such good looking figures and good feeling figures for like these figures are cheap as hell compared to like most of what we're paying, dude.
Oh yeah, man. Like they're nothing really. It's that's why to me every single one of these figures is an insta buy. You know what I mean?
Super cool.
Yeah, it looks so good. Super pumped on that one.
There we go. And then there's the Mega Man. They had their Scooby-Doo figures, which everyone also loves. Like, look at these things. These things look incredible.
Looks great, dude.
All right. Shaggy.
Are you getting Scooby-Doo? Are you getting any of them?
I think I might. I would at least get Shaggy and Scooby, I think. They look cool, man.
Yeah, they definitely look cool.
Now, I'm not going to get the Tony the Tiger because it's the new version. Not into it. And then a bunch of other stuff that I really wasn't familiar with, but I thought looked really cool.
Dude, the sword that I was talking about, that in the back, right there, that's the sword.
Right here, right?
Yeah.
Super cool.
You've never seen Berserk, Jonathan?
I have not, no.
Ooh. It's pretty heavy, bro.
Yeah,
the sword looked heavy.
It's pretty heavy.
And this is the SHF movie Deadpool and Wolverine. It's not going to stop. There's going to be Deadpool and Wolverine until we're both older and grayer than we are now. Yeah. Movie Venoms looks pretty cool. If you're in need of a Venom here. And then, dude, this Voltron.
Yeah, what was that all about, dude? That looks great, man.
I think that's the SOC one. because they had the SOC for sale at the Time Machine Nations booth.
Yep.
Mm.
$360.
That might be an updated one.
Because I asked, I'm like, how much is the Voltron? $360.
Yeah,
Holy crap.
but it is a husky, heavy.
It is,
Fuck,
but it
yeah.
doesn't. But the lions aren't like their own figure, right? It's just a robot.
No, I think it all comes apart.
It does.
And then combines. Yeah,
Oh, okay, good.
Mm,
The
mhm.
360.
Yeah,
I would hope
if
so.
if it's a real true to form Voltron, yeah, all the robots should be able to transform into their own lions.
There you go.
That's freaking yeah. I mean, I love mine. Mine big ass. I mean, that thing it's full die cast and it weighs like 25 pounds. It's ridiculous. It's so
Can
good.
you
And I think
can you
it's
scroll
it's
down?
Hold on a second. Sorry, I'm getting there.
Yeah, it comes apart.
mhm.
It's
Okay.
the Soul Chogokin.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the one that I have then. I just
Yeah,
didn't I saw it. I was like, "Oh my god, look at a new Voltron or something." But yeah, it's
I
pretty
think
much the one I have then.
it's like this one's like an anniversary one.
Mm.
It might be just like a different color.
Mm. Looks
It was
freaking
beautiful.
awesome though, man. If you don't have a Voltron, what are you doing with your life?
Absolutely beautiful. So Diamond Select had some cool stuff going on too. These photos, of course, don't do it justice. They did some House of the Dragon figures,
Mhm.
which
Super
looks pretty
dope.
cool.
Super dope.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. That's it. Yeah. Here we go. You got to take a picture in front of a big robot.
Hell yeah.
And that's it for these. So, we did Mezco already. Oh, you know what? Let's do this since I mentioned Mezco. Where'd it go? Here it is. So yeah, concurrent with New York Comic Con this weekend, which is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Mezco's also doing their online RumbleCon, where they're doing a bunch of brand new reveals, things like that. And so they have their first solicitation shots, just the photos of Tangerine, who I was talking about before. 70s spy secret agent type character. Looks very, very cool. Here's the loadout. Looks like a pretty streamlined loadout. So I'm hoping for like a sub $100, like an 85 type deal for her. That would be pretty cool. It's original IP, so there's no license fee or anything like that. So some gold weapons. Pretty pumped.
That's a dope figure, dude.
Yeah, I think she looks incredible. I can't wait. The first time I remember seeing the design was on the when Mezco did that advent calendar. That was like 3 years ago, I think, when they did that. And that design was in there. So been waiting on that one.
She was on the casino one too, wasn't she?
Oh, and that would have been, was that before? That was before the advent calendar, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So that design's been sort of around. Is she going to have the alt head with the, you know what? That's a good question, Brick, because they don't have an alternate head here.
It does say and more though.
Yes, and more. That's right. Okay, good.
That she probably could come with more.
Give me more stuff. Give me more stuff. And finally, Mezco has announced the newest character in their Gangrene Estates line. So if you remember the Theodore Sod Cutter, Teddy Sods, as some of us like to call him, was a new subline for Mezco 112th Collective, where it's sort of like a horror type vibe or whatever. Here's the newest one, Alistair Gangrene. Check it out. So I think this is the only picture they've released so far.
Yeah. When I saw this, I'm like, this is giving me MF Doom vibes, dude.
Dude, oh man, we got some fur going on here. I can't wait to see what happens next with this. Did either of you get that Theodore Sod Cutter? You did,
I
right?
have Sod Cutter. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a freaking amazing freaking figure, dude. That is
incredible.
That's an amazing figure.
Eric says this is not the vibe. I wonder what the. Are you talking about Alistair? Maybe he's not a horror figure guy.
I don't know what's
Maybe
under
it's-
that mask, or is it like? I mean, I'd like to see the whole figure, like what his whole thing is. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it
I
looks
wonder
it
if
looks
the
weird.
mask. I wonder if the mask comes off the head or not. It looks purple,
Yeah.
underneath, doesn't it?
Yep,
Yeah, a little bit.
it's got some gang going on under there.
Purple, gang, green.
Yeah.
Something.
gang
That
green.
works.
And then there's this son of a bitch.
Yeah.
They're making a car. They are making a Doc Nocturnal car.
That's crazy, bro.
And seeing that in person, because they had that on display, dude, it is beautiful. It's fucking beautiful.
That's awesome, dude.
Search Facebook here.
Mezco vehicles. Here we go.
Oh no, that's not right. Arrgh. Mezco toys. Give me 1 second.
I'm hoping this isn't going to be like it's not going to break the bank. That's
It
the
is.
only thing.
Yeah, that it looked pretty big. Is this a pretty big vehicle?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm wondering what that price point's going to be.
Sorry, I'm trying to do something here. It's not cooperating, but I think I got it now.
400, Zamora says.
Phew, I hope not. Shit.
Yeah, I was thinking 300 because it's got lights, sounds. Here we go.
Yeah, I seen the
which one is it?
video for it. It's got a ton of shit going on in there. It's insane. Thankfully, I'm not a Mezco vehicle guy.
The only vehicle that I've gotten from Mezco is the Lawmaster.
So this is it.
Oh man. Yes.
Extending battering ram. Working winch. Rubber tires.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's going to cost you a pretty penny, dude. No doubt about it.
Yeah, that's going to be expensive. I hope it's not four.
Your wallets are going to be hurting, bro.
Yeah. So where am I here? I'm over here. I think that's it. Yeah. That's all I had prepped, but whew. So long story short for me, New York Comic Con was insane. A lot of cool reveals here from Mezco coming up. But again, so here, this is what I was thinking. I was thinking, think of the Void Cadet Gomez mech suit type deal. That was $350, and Bill's right. That came with a figure for $350. So if that car is, what if that car was $250? Still a lot of money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't know that I need a car for the Doc Nocturnal, but I just know that with Mezco's attention to detail, like they make 5-point articulation figures look really cool. And if you've ever had like a 5 points figure in your hand, you're like, this is different. Like it's next level paint applications, all that stuff. Their attention to detail is very impressive, but you pay for it. So
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Yeah, Bill says 200. 200. We'll see. You might have me in there on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a chance to open Doc Knock yet?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I don't have Doc Knock yet.
Oh shit! I forgot.
Remember, I
Oh.
pre-ordered it. I did
Yeah.
actually buy a Doc Knock at
Yeah,
New York
that's right.
Comic Con, but it's not mine. It's for so that's the other funny thing is that so I'm dropping off the Doc Knock I picked up to the person who I promised to get it for, and who has paid for it at Legion's Con. So that's what we're gonna do. I won't even have my Doc Knock before then. That's why Mezco was like, dude, if you're gonna do something like that, just tell me. Like, just tell me. I would have bought mine at New York Comic Con.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be that much after that. What did they say? 4 to 6 weeks or something like that?
I think it was 6 to 8.
6 to 8.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. Trust me. I have plenty of stuff in my house right now to open. I could not buy it for a year and I'd have plenty to open. So I'm not actually worried about it.
All of your figs, you mean?
Listen, I like to keep them nice. What can I tell you? Super 7 makes dope boxes. What can I tell you?
That's why I can't wait to go into your place, dude. I'm gonna make so much fun of you with all your boxed figures.
You're gonna be surprised at how many are unpackaged, except for all of the ones that are on the wall.
There you go.
And the ones over there. Oh, here we go.
That looks freaking rad, dude. That's a damn good looking figure, dude.
Boom.
Yeah.
Now that I was assuming that's the Destro body. Do you have the Destro?
I don't.
Because he's got similar clothing. The boots look the same. I bet it's Destro.
That's super dope, dude. That's a great looking figure, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, not great cape too.
That cape looks amazing, dude.
Man,
that's so dope.
God,
so cool.
And I can't get it to focus, of course.
It's like this weird thing, man. Like, you know, I was holding Valaverse, the glow in the dark swarm trooper. I have him, he's in box in my living room right now. I've had him since Jesus, that had to be ZoloCon, so that was probably February. And like the plan the whole time has been to open it up and play with it and like whatever, but like it's like this weird thing where like it looks so good in the box and it's like it's pleasuring this part of my brain, but I'm like, I know if I open it, it'll pleasure this side of my brain. And it's like, well, I can just get both. I can just delay the second one for a while and have it like looking nice in the package. Which is funny because there's never, ever, ever in my whole life been an action figure that I opened and then regretted opening it. Where I was like, man, I wish I still had this in box. That's never happened. Not once.
One to stock, one to rock, man. That's how you got to go.
Well, with Mezco, that gets a little expensive. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's so great about Mezcos, right? Is because they're not made like that. Like you can't view them from outside of the package.
No.
So there's nothing to keep. Like you might as well open it and dive in.
Yep.
Mezcos are incredible. Oh, yep. Steph's talking about the shirts.
Yep. Represent, baby. Represent.
Ooh, baby. Late night LeBron.
Coming to Legion's Con, baby. Here we go. Get ready, folks. It's going to be good.
That's what's funny, man, is
great
that
time.
I wasn't going to get this new bigger Doc Knock, and one of the reasons was I never got the original or the red one, the smaller ones. But I do want to get one or both of those eventually. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just end up getting all the Doc Knocks. I love their original IP. I think they do a great job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the original IP is really good, man. I mean, like I said, that Gangrene Estates is freaking fantastic.
I love like the Theodore Sodcutter, the comic he comes with is really cool. So I'm pumped about that. Oh, speaking of which, real quick, we should probably cut off pretty soon, but this was so Mezco. They didn't have they're back at New York Comic Con for the first time in a couple of years, like we said. They didn't do a huge swag bag, but they did have this free comic, which was very cool. And you could see they had like the car in there, a bunch of different stuff. It's a very cool little mini comic. And excuse me, beer, get out of here. I got Darth Vader, #1, written by Charles Soule.
Yes.
So, and I almost bought all 4 because they had the all 4 issues, and got them to autograph
Nice.
it for me.
Very cool.
Very cool. So I started reading that already. So that was cool. I always try to pick up a comic at Comic-Con, because that's kind of where it started. So
good way to go.
All right, you guys got anything else?
No, I'm good, man.
Okay. All right.
3 weeks to go, folks. Here we go.
Yep. 3 weeks to go. Unbelievable. 3 weeks to go.
Yeah.
9 o'clock. It's almost 8 o'clock right now. I'm assuming 9 o'clock we'll have another Purple Gang Gang live. Don't forget to check out the Purple Gang Gang YouTube channel for that. I guess that's it. I'll talk to you guys offline. I don't know if I'm going to be available next week. We're having Grayson's birthday party here next Saturday, so that might take me out for the whole weekend.
Understandable.
But I'll be in touch. Ryan, any final thoughts about New York Comic Con?
It was a great time. Just really fucking exhausted.
Yes, it is.
Don't regret any of it, though.
It is a marathon. Oh, here we go. Eric says that Purple Gang Gang tonight is Noah and Eric Miller. So
nice.
That should be fun.
Yeah.
Eric, you all set up? Any further thoughts?
No, I'm just ready to go, man. Pumped. Just getting all the last little details dialed in and everything packaged up, and just ready to start setting up my suitcase and just ready to travel, dude. Ready to freaking hit that freaking tarmac and jump into New Jersey, ready to freaking rock and roll.
I can't wait, man.
Super,
I cannot wait.
Pumped. Super fucking pumped.
All right, everybody. Thank you again for everybody who stopped in while we were live tonight. Knocking the door on 2 hours here. It seems like it's been like about 5 minutes. Can't wait to hang out again soon, even if it's not next week, as soon thereafter as possible. Thank you again also to everyone who stops in and checks us out on the replay. We appreciate you. Please give the live a like. Hit that like button whenever you check it out. Share it if you can. I also put out recently, I did a Heavy Gunner review. I tried to time it at the same time as the in-stock sale to try to help hype that up. If you can check that out, that would be dope. I also I'm going to post a couple of New York Comic-Con videos just to kind of like any footage that I took to just kind of get that out there. And the first one is up. It's literally just me walking into New York Comic-Con. If you ever wanted to know what it felt like to walk in and through that sea of people, I try to give you that look. But other than that, Ryan, Eric, thank you guys for making time for me.
Always, man.
Always great to hang out. Can't wait to see you guys in person. Ryan, I was happy to hang out with you in person this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And can't wait to bring Eric into the fold in a couple of weeks. Thank you again, everybody. Until next time, don't forget the number one rule, which is
be cool.
Later.